right. Um, hey. Hi. Today is Wednesday, May 22nd. It's 3:43 p.m. I just got home from work and I wanted to do a little update. If you couldn't tell by the title of the video, I'm giving an update about postgraduate life. We are just about 6 months out, or 6 months from graduation. So I finished college. I finished my undergraduate degree on December 17th, 2023. So maybe it's 5 months right now. January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, May 17th was the 5-month mark. I would do 6 months, but I feel like a lot has happened in 5 months that I'm extremely grateful for, and just wanted to give an update. So here's a quick rundown. Like I said, December I finished college. Undergraduate degree complete. It's in graphic design. I do make things. I love designing, and I'm trying to find my lane with that. If you want to see what I'm making, you can check my Instagram at Visionary Tay. I'm making a lot of cool things. Not to brag. What else? So I graduated college, and then right after that I got a job that was not ideal at all. I was working at a grocery store, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with working at a grocery store. I feel like that's very normal. I do want to preface that while I was in my final semester, I was working 3 jobs while taking a full course load. Don't ask me how I did it, but I was present for all of it. So while trying to grind out papers and whatnot, and presentations, another video I have on this channel is me giving my afros, updos, and cornrows galore presentation, which I really enjoy rewatching because I love talking about my family and research and just understanding why we do things the way we do. Shameless plug, so watch that if you're interested and want to hear me speak some more. So yeah, amongst all of those things with academics, I was working 3 jobs, and then on top of that I was also curating my own solo exhibition, which is on campus on view right now. And also, and that's another thing, I do need to make a video about that. I documented the entire process from the summer of last year all the way until February of this year. So it's just a matter of making it. But believe me, it was a lot. So to do all of that and like finish with all A's, I'm a scholar. But no, school to me is like quite easy. But I did really well, like academic wise, performance wise. But to be so real, I don't really think your grades necessarily matter when it comes to looking for jobs. But more so like understanding of concepts and like work ethic and things like that. So yeah, I graduated, got a job working at a grocery store. It was like breaking down boxes and restocking different sections. Was not enjoyable at all. My back was screaming, my knees were on fire, and I dealt with a lot of passive aggressiveness from coworkers that I didn't really enjoy. Like I didn't enjoy the feelings. So one day I was like, I'm sorry, but this job has me in distress. Like when I tell you, I would be praying down in the car before I would go in for my shift. Like I would really be in shambles trying to pull myself together and like muster up the courage to go inside and clock in. Like it was very hard. So one day after work, it was snowing. This is in January, mind you. It was snowing. I only stayed at this job for maybe like a month because I started right the day after Christmas. I started working there the day after Christmas. And let me say this, and I was working on New Year's Day. Something about that don't sit right with me, okay? I love taking a break. I love staying at home, being in bed, rubbing my feet together. So the idea of working during that time when I could have been with family was like, that was not cute. But it was my one day. It was snowing. I had just clocked out. I had this really weird like meeting with my manager, and she was just saying things really aggressively, and I don't like being talked at, especially when something can be solved super easy with clear communication. And I remember finishing that shift, I clocked out, and I was like, no, I'm not coming back. So I cleared out the locker, I took my lock with me, clocked out, and I walked to the car, and I just sat in it, and I was like, yeah, I'm not coming back to this place anymore. And when I tell you, that had to have been the best decision that I made this year so far. That's like, if I didn't do that, I don't think things would have lined up the way they did. So I leave that place. I tell my grandparents, I'm like, yeah, I quit, I'm not going back. And they said, huh? You're not gonna tell anybody? I said, no, I'm not gonna call, I'm not gonna answer their calls, and I'm not going back to that place because you're not gonna put me in distress. And I don't want to feel the way I did when I was working there. So now I'm unemployed. I have no job, nothing lined up, didn't interview anywhere else. I'm just like chilling, which is a luxury in itself, like to not be working. But I knew I needed something because I would like to sustain myself and like be more financially responsible, things like that. So I quit, and now I was just waiting on one thing. In December, another thing that I did was apply for a 6-month fellowship. As soon as those applications opened, I applied. And right after I applied, I made a video talking about me applying. I was like, yeah, I just applied for this fellowship. I mean, fingers crossed, I really hope that I can get in. So I applied in December, and early January comes, and I have my interview for it. And so I go through the interview, I think I'm eating it, and I did. I came prepared because it's what I love to do. Like, I love art, I love creating, I love doing research and learning more. So to be able to have an opportunity to create new work, meet other artists in the city, meet established artists, go to different events, like create new work, go to the archives, the Afro archives at that, and like really like, you know, like be in my zone. So I was just really falling and waiting for that to you know, come through. And I knew that I would be accepted because I claimed it as soon as I submitted the application. I was like, yeah, I have a really good feeling about this. And then January 19th, I got the notification that I was accepted into the fellowship, which I am still completing right now. And when I tell you, as soon as that happened, everything else opened up for me. And I'm so grateful for that. Like, I still can't wrap my head around it. So I'm in the fellowship now. I'm like mind blown, like still on cloud 9. I'm like, wow, this is good. Now, usually with fellowships and stuff, like compensation comes at the very end of the program. So like, I feel like that's a challenge within itself to see how disciplined you can be to wait for funds. And for me, I was at a point where it's like the funds, like it's not about the money for me. I literally just want to build the community. I want to make new work, and I want to be able to, like, you know, establish myself more. And yeah, and just do things from a genuine place. And I feel like it's a nice perk to have, you know, compensation toward the end of the program upon completion. But I'm just like, wow, that was like this played out so perfectly. And the timing is just right. So yeah, and through that fellowship, I've met a lot of great artists and had made some great friendships so far, one of which ended up helping me get a new job because the fellowship was super busy and you have to do a lot of things, go a lot of places, and I was determined, like, yeah, I'm committing to this, but in order to do that, I need to find something else that's consistent and, you know, works with my schedule. And I was talking with one of the other fellows, and she literally put me on and recommended me for a job. So now I have another interview. I go to that interview, and I'm talking with the people. I'm like, okay, this is good. I feel good about it. And now I'm working in education. So I get that job the very beginning of February. And I'm no longer unemployed. So I was like, wow, another thing has fallen in place. And I'm working in education. I'm creating new work. Like, everything fits together so beautifully. And that's where I am right now. Of course, there have been a lot of challenges along the way, just navigating adulthood like we do, trying to find balance, trying not to lose hope, being in therapy. You know, I was in therapy from like, I think September of last year, and I got discharged, I want to say February or March. So we're doing good. Still have my moments though, okay? Yeah, I still have my moments, but I'm really grateful. Yeah, so I say all that to say that there have been quite a few lows and a lot of uncertainty navigating life post-graduation. It's weird. The real world, when I think that's something we have to shy away from when talking about, or like being in academic spaces, and we're like, oh, real world this, real world that. This is not real. It's far from it, I can tell you that. It's just very unusual and odd. Oh, no. This is not the real world. But it's a learning curve, and it's quite a big adjustment to make. And I'm grateful for it all, because if I hadn't made that one decision, then I wouldn't be where I am right now. And I can say that for a lot of things. But yeah, adulthood is weird. Bills are billing, checks are clearing, vitamins are being had. Okay? I have health insurance now in my name. Oh my gosh. Do you know how big of a luxury that is? To have health insurance in my name. Yeah, so that's exciting. Monthly deductibles, that's not exciting, because what? You gave me the card. I expect you to pay for it. You know, but it's okay. Learning to be responsible. And learning to save. Ooh. Yeah. Also, I need to learn how to budget, because when I'm talking with my grandfather and he says, so, like, do you have a budget? What's your budget? I said, no. I like to believe there is no budget. He was like, no. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. You need a budget. And that's real. So that's what I'm working through right now. And finding balance with being social. I've been very social this year, and I like it. I like it a lot. I just get a little bit tired and drained, so I'm trying to find the best way to recharge, and I'm also trying to find my answers and like find what makes sense for me to partake in, because some things just don't work. Like, some things just aren't the answer. So that's what I'm navigating right now. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job. Oh, and I turned 23 this year. My 23rd birthday was on May 7th. I'm 23. I am grown. I'm grown. A little bit grown. So yeah, and I can say this with full confidence that I am so grateful to be here and to be experiencing life. There have been so many moments where I was ready to clock out for good, okay? Like, ready to get up out of here. And that is extremely, like, not okay. But with a lot of support from my family members and my partner, I'm still here. And shout out to me, because I'm the only one that occupies this body. And that's something that I try to remind myself of all the time. Because to be so real, I think I'm a pretty good person. I like being here. I like talking. I like telling jokes. I like laughing and just doing all the things. So I think that's all I have right now. Oh, I left out another big part. I did my first residency. One more time. I did my first residency, okay? And this was in March. That's not even 3 months post grad. And I've got a 1 residency under my belt so far. And I didn't have to pay for nothing. I know that's right. That's so amazing. And it was in collaboration with the company Getaway. The one with them people with the tiny cabins all over the country. And I applied for that one random night in November last year. And that's another thing. Just because you may not think you should apply for something, or like you don't think you'll get into something, maybe go ahead and apply. Because 9 times out of 10 you'll forget that you applied, and then eventually you'll get that notification that you've been accepted, or like granted admission, and like they want to work with you. And even if they don't, even the chance that they say no, that's okay. Get your name out there. But shout out to me for going ham and applying for things left and right. Yeah, I did my first residency and I made some cool work, and I might put it on the screen right here. Ooh, maybe I'll put in this frame. Yeah. Yep, this is what I made. This is the collage that I made. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see I do a lot of collage work and other digital stuff. So I'm trying to find my lane, and collages speak to me in a way that makes the most perfect sense. So yes, I think that is what I have for the most part for my almost 6-month, really 5-month post-grad update. And another bonus piece, I'm waiting to hear if I got into grad school. I applied in February and it's May and I'm still waiting. They just closed the application, so like it's gonna be a minute, but it's just a test of patience, and my grades are too damn good to be denied. I am too damn good to be denied. So I'll give an update when I get in as well. That might be its own little thing, but yeah, I think that's what I have. So quick rundown. Graduated college in December. Got a job working at a grocery store and hated it so bad. Hated it down. I was in distress. Quit said job in January. Got into my first fellowship in January. Had my first residency. I work in education, and I'm here. Oh, when I turned 23. I think that's like, yeah, I'm here and I'm happy and super excited for what the future holds, what tomorrow holds. So that's my cute little update. It's already like 19 minutes in. Thank you if you stay to listen. Yeah, that's really it. Yeah, love y'all down. To my future self, I'm so proud of you. To my current self, I'm proud of you. To my past self, I'm proud of you. And I love you very much. And I think that's all I have to say right now. Remember to drink a cute little beverage, take some vitamins, get some rest, and put that damn phone down. Yeah. So I think that's it. I shall check in eventually. Love, love, love. Love y'all. Kisses. Bye.